back in the day. But he at some point created the baby steps, and it kind of, and so I am pretty much trying to live by the baby steps. So the baby steps, the first thing is for you to establish $1,000 in emergency savings, and that's literally just like a baby emergency. So people say like $1,000, like we're here in Connecticut, like you could sneeze and $1,000 will fall out somewhere, you know. So, but he does that because he wants you to feel the urgency of needing to pay off any debts that you have, and those debts being like unsecured debts like credit cards, medical bills, stuff like that. The urgency of needing to pay those off so that you can actually get to the next and third step of actually creating a more substantial emergency fund, which he typically says is 3 to 6 months of savings. In some communities, they say like that's nice, 3 to 6 months of savings, but you really, in some certain communities, they say you should have like a year, right? And it really factors into how quickly you think you can get other employment, if employment is your thing and you're not an entrepreneur. So this is kind of making assumptions about what kind of work you do. So, check out the page. The baby steps I just posted them today as a reminder. I believe I posted them back in October 2018. So take a look at those. You are the designer of your own financial plan. And as you might have seen in some of my bio information, I am a certified trained United Way budget coach. I did that back in 2016. And they have a different philosophy. And it took me a while through the training to get comfortable with their philosophy. But I have found that their philosophy is appropriate for the over 250 clients that I've served. And I think it speaks a lot to their approach compared to what happened to Dave Ramsey when he tried to work with people. You can't force a circle into a square, right? So you can't tell somebody this is how you're going to spend your money. They have to design for themselves how they want to spend their money. And that's fairly much the philosophy of the United Way, budget training. So work on your budget, set your goals for yourself. They're your goals. If you make them, you make them. If you decide you want to, save $2,500 and then, a month later you just went out and bought a car for $25,000 with an interest rate of 14%, that's on you. That's your life. So that's the United Way of thinking about it. Because we want people to be comfortable either way dealing with their money. And if only 4% of households are talking about money, we aren't comfortable dealing with money here. And we're fooling ourselves to think that that's a good position to be in. And with the state of our society, the way it is, we've got some generational pushes and pulls and all the things that are going on. So I gave you the other sheet. This is for your goal setting. So you've got your budget. And I think it's funny because I'm in this workshop. I call it a mastermind group, but the others call it workshop club, but it's really a mastermind group. We read an interesting chapter the other day, and I'm so glad. I'm going to go back and reread that chapter because I've been so wedded to the budget. It's good because I still set my own goals in terms of my budget. But this guy said, the budget is basically like an autopsy. It's like everything you did do, right? You know what I mean? Every month it's like you got X amount of money coming in, and then this is how you allocated it all. And you're either in the black or you're in the red. But it's not really showing you where you're going. It's not your financial plan. So I feel like this second sheet that I gave you will be a good tool to help you in putting together your financial plan. So we've got your SMART goal worksheet. We've got today's date, your target date of your goal, the start date and whether you achieved it. And there's extra copies if you want to take a few more with you. That's fine. You got your goal at the top. So then you want to determine whether your goal meets these standards, and that is called the SMART standards, right? You got specific. What exactly will you accomplish, right? Measurable. How will you know when you have reached this goal? Achievable. Is achieving this goal realistic with effort and commitment? Have you got the resources to achieve this goal? If not, how will you get them? Relevant. Why is this goal significant to your life? And timely. When will you achieve this goal? So that's page 1. And I know I talked to at least one person in this room about their goals. And I think the second sheet will be a really good tool for examining that goal. Very much so. And then it goes on to ask you some other questions. But this is not something you just write up really quick. Just take some time, with it. And for each goal you have, you can do a different sheet. I would recommend that. And I'm going to sit down and do mine, because my goal is to pay off all of my credit cards by June. Is that achievable? No, I might have to tap into that gig economy to make sure that that's achievable. I need to be gazelle intense if I want to reach that goal. I will know if I reach that goal if every month I see on my Every Dollar app that the amount that's on my credit card is going down. And your friends and family might think you're a little cuckoo, What do you mean you're not going to that 50th birthday celebration in Las Vegas? You go to Las Vegas every year. This is the one year you don't want to go to Las Vegas when we're celebrating your brother's 50th birthday. Well, I'd love to, but I just bought a house last year, and I've got to stay steadfast in shoring up the ways and means of which I procured that property. So, it is what it is. On page 2 it says, who are the people you will ask to help you?
God.
Help me, help you, help us. Okay, so I can move on to my next real estate transaction, and Steve Schapper could be my broker, my
I'm not supposed to say anything because it's girls' night.
oh yeah, we have the Stephanie Schapper. No, just kidding. Hey Erica, how you doing? Thanks for watching.
God and Henry and my apostle. That would be who. Yeah. Henry's a CPA.
Okay, we like CPAs.
And then my apostle, he's challenged me to do some stuff that he's already done. So it's like, okay. And we kind of think the same, so.
Me?
Sure.
You know what I need to do, who I need to speak with? I need to speak with my business banker to see if I'm going to have to take on business debt to free up my personal money.
Nice.
I need to stop putting my personal money
In your investment.
in my business.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to speak with my business banker to see to map out where I can go.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that.
Do you think that will help you to increase your business? Size your business?
It'll increase my business to the point where I can start paying myself, because I don't pay myself yet. I mean, everything's factored in like I'm paying myself, but I end up putting it back in, so I really don't pay myself.
It's an in and out thing.
It really is.
Okay.
And then I can take the money from my actual job and use that on myself instead of funneling that into my business as well. So yeah, that's who I need to speak with. That's who can help me.
That sounds good. All right now. I like that at the end it says, so specific action steps. What are the steps you're going to take? What's the expected completion date? and then notes whether you completed it yet.
Mhm.
So. Don't be reluctant to hang this up somewhere where it's visible so you see it regularly. That way you're constantly reminded of it, because it's not something that's on your phone, right? It's a hard copy document. So we're going to wrap up, but before we wrap up, having heard all of what you heard tonight, if we have another session, what types of things do you think you might want to get out of a subsequent session?
Well, you were talking about hacks. Got to work the hacks. I would like to see more hacks. Some information that you might have on hacks. You mentioned gig economy. What are some of the gigs that we could use to get out of our financial situation or enhance our financial situation?
Okay. Anyone else?
A worksheet
Yes.
where we break down.
Yeah, nobody walks out of the room until this is filled in.
So it's completed.
I'm almost
So,
there.
The entire
so Stephanie
session, just-
I like that.
Stephanie was holding up the SMART goal worksheet. He's saying, well, whatever. For those of you who couldn't hear, that might be good just to have a workshop that's just spent and dedicated to completing one or more of these, because this is really just a one goal sheet. So you could have multiple goals that you're working on and be completing these.
I think it would be very helpful if everybody in the room actually shared their answers, because if you had 20 people in the room, everybody's got their own ideas as
Yep.
to who they're supposed to speak to and who, you know,
Mm-hmm.
what they want to do. But if they heard from everybody else, they'd go, oh, great idea.
Yeah.
Or, oh, I can help you with that because I know a person that can do that.
Exactly. So if this is
Thank you.
101, this would be 201.
All right now. I like the sound of that. Thank you for watching. You've been sticking with us. Appreciate that. I hate to leave you, but this is going to be it for tonight. So, congratulations. Yeah, come on, let's go. We are having our financial wellness checkup in 2020.